My name is Sabine Rakotomalala, and I'm a Deputy Coordinator for the Child Protection Working Group. I've always wanted to work with children, and I did a master's as a child psychologist with a specialization in psychosocial support. And then started through WHO in the violence prevention world, and then went out to the field, and then worked for Terre des Hommes, for an NGO, for many years. And I'm now working in child protection with UNICEF. Because I think there's a very close link between psychosocial support and child protection. I think 80% of the child protection response will be linked to psychosocial support. I remember once meeting a boy who wasn't speaking. It was one of the projects I was working in. And all the social workers kept on saying he was autistic. And it didn't feel right that he wasn't autistic. And so we took him to see a psychiatrist to do a diagnosis. And the psychiatrist asked him two questions. What year were you born? What year are we now? He answered them. So the psychiatrist said he's not autistic. And then we started speaking with him. The psychiatrist started speaking with him. And we found out that his mother would leave him at 2 weeks on end alone at home. He was 10 years old. And do her shopping or do her work, and then bring food shopping and leave it at the house. And then come back every 2 weeks. And so this child she'd been doing this for about 8 years. So this child had huge attachment problems. And I was so amazed to see how something that seems so logistical, just leaving him behind, making sure he had food and a roof above his head, could have such a huge impact that he just wasn't speaking anymore. So we worked a lot with the mother. We found other family members, and he started speaking again, and he came back to life. I've seen lots of wonderful interventions, individual interventions, interventions related to sports. But what I do always find the most important is the community-based approach, and really taking the time to listen to the community, to work with the community from the get-go, to see what they want. And once you know what they want, let them set it up, and you're just there to facilitate the whole process. And then any intervention is wonderful because it's theirs. Shut up and listen. Go somewhere, just sit, watch. I would say I think the anthropologists have the right approach in humanitarian aid and in psychosocial support. Listen, see what you understand, and then see how you can facilitate a better response. Fund it. I think it's we don't realize how much none of the other interventions will work. You can give all the blankets you want, you can give all the water sanitation precautions, you can give all the food, but if people aren't feeling well, then none of that will make a difference. So I think if we can fund more psychosocial and mental health interventions, then we'll see much better response in terms of the other interventions.